Alright, Lagos, welcome back. This is Overt Radio. We are broadcasting to you live from the city of Lagos. Lagos is a center of excellence, the city that never sleeps. This is the second edition, the segment of Overt Radio Breakfast Show. This breakfast show is being sponsored by Ogama QS by Lifeback Pharmacy and Stores Limited, marketers of Ogama QS softgels and anti-malaria and Swedish bitters. Lifeback Pharmacy and Stores Limited. Thank you for the sponsorship of the Overt Radio Breakfast Show this morning. All right, let's go to the issue of the day. Yes, it is Osun State election. That is what has been trending in the country since last week. You remember last week, Wednesday or so, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission froze the Osun State bank accounts over what the commission described, giving the reasons why they placed a post no debit order on that account, that they suspected that there have been huge funds transfer that account. And after that, the next day, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed EFCC to unfreeze that account, and that was said and done. Then earlier this week, during the town hall meeting of the election organized by Arise News on Tuesday or so, Ademola Adeleke, the governor of Osun State, declared that irrespective of the federal might in Osun State, irrespective of the APC, that he is a bulldozer, that he will defeat, that he will come out victorious in Saturday's election. Then during that media engagement, that day, that's the African Democratic Congress candidate Najim Salam said that he will beat that the likes of Adeleke, Oyebamiji, and other political candidates are his juniors when it comes to politics, that he will beat them. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed to see if that will actually happen tomorrow. By this time tomorrow, accreditation of voters might have commenced by this time tomorrow in Osun State, and perhaps maybe people will start thumb printing by this time tomorrow. All right, so yes, and I think a day after that, I was on Wednesday, Senator Francis Fadawusi, who is a Osun East Senatorial District, he was caught in a video giving an order for APC supporters to kill Accord party members. At first, he said they should kill their leaders. If they didn't see their leaders, that the members of Accord party should be killed, because he was saying that in previous election, some of his supporters were killed, and nothing was done regarding that. There were no arrests. That. So he's saying that that even before the election, during the election, Senator Fadawusi, directed members of the APC supporters to kill Accord party members, and as a result of that, there have been reactions, concerning that. Adeleke, threatened the lawsuit. The Osun State government threatened the lawsuit on Fadawusi, that the police invited Fadawusi to show himself at the State Criminal Investigation Department, which he did the next day. And so we don't know what the police will do after that. Fadawusi, turned up at the State Criminal Investigative Department yesterday. And after that, some members prominent figures like Peter Obi said that Fadawusi should apologize, and some other people, according to also some organizations, the Amnesty International had called for the arrest of Fadawusi for that remark, for that statement. the federal government, the APC has not said anything yet. The APC has remained silent. I'm not sure if there have been an official statement from the APC regarding what Father Usi said, and it's not fair. The APC has not said anything as regard that. But Father Usi, when that videos was circulating on social media, issued a statement retracting, issued a statement that he didn't actually mean that he didn't mean violence in that statement, but he said that what he meant, he said it was quoted out of context or so, and that what he meant is that the Accord members should be killed, with the vote, that he should kill them with vote, and some people have said that what kind of retributal is that? What kind of statement is that? You were caught in a video. You even said that you are aware that the video is being recorded. You even said that the video is being recorded, when you were giving that order, that kill order. So how can you now come out to say that that you didn't mean what you said, that you were quoted out of context, or what excuse that you were giving? So we will not allow that statement to go down like that. Like I said, although I'm not somebody who is pessimistic concerning the Nigerian police, I want to believe that the security agencies know what they are doing. He was invited on Thursday, and so we don't know what is next, from the Nigerian police. But yesterday, the Osun State government, through the, I think, Attorney General, so is it Attorney General or the Accord Party? I think it's the Accord Party. Has is it Accord Party or Osun State government? I'm trying to remember which of them. But I think it's the Osun State government. It's the Osun State government. They've filed a petition to the court, the wrote to the Osun State High Court yesterday, compelling the Osun State High Court to, requesting that the Osun State High Court to compel the Nigerian police force to investigate further, we'll see, concerning that remarks, and do whatever will require for an investigation. If he is found guilty, then the necessary things should be administered. Yes, so what I'll be doing today, this particular segment within the next 10-15 minutes, is just to give an analysis of how tomorrow's election will turn out, and I'll be taking that from the Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard newspaper say that factors that will decide Adeleke, Oyebamiji, Salam, others' fate tomorrow. Okay, so let me just read one or two few paragraphs which I did earlier on, but let me just, for the benefit of those who are just tuning in, you can go to our various social media platforms on X, Overt Radio Live, on Instagram, Overt News, on TikTok, over.radio.lagos, to watch our past programs, our in the studio, our exclusive interviews here in the studio, our talk shows in the studio. We are currently streaming live on YouTube at Overt Radio Live. All right, so what will happen tomorrow? After rounding off their campaign yesterday, 15 standard bearers are primed for tomorrow's governorship election in Osun State. Amid a cloud of tension unfolded by violence and killings that heralded the campaigns, President Bola Tinubu yesterday assured people of the state adequate security during polls, and urged them to troop out en masse to exercise their franchise. No fewer than 1.9 million of 2,339,233 registered voters who collected PVCs across 30 local government areas, 323 wards, and 3.73 polling units are expected to decide the fate of candidates led by Governor Ademola Adeleke of the Accord Party seeking re-election, Bola Oyebamiji of the All Progressive Congress APC, and Najim Salam of the African Democratic Congress ADC. Factors such as influence of critical stakeholders and leaders, popularity, performance, incumbency, federal might, and track record, among others, are expected to shape the outcome of the balloting. Meanwhile, fresh violence erupted in Ijeshaland yesterday as some suspected political hoodlums stormed Esauke and shot two members of the APC. The victims are Oladile Ayegbo and Taiwo Oluwatobi. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that name very well. However, said that the attack happened on Wednesday as security agencies embarked on show force in the state in readiness for the election. Already, 15,000 policemen, 31 commissioners of police with helicopters and drones have been deployed. Okay, this is an election. This is not a war. This is not a riot whereby 15,000 policemen, 31 police commissioners, helicopters and drones have been deployed. This is not a riot now. This is just an election that in other countries you will even know that there was an election in that country. 15,000 policemen. Okay. 31 commissioners of police, helicopters and drones have been deployed. Disturbed by the cycle of violence, the Amnesty International Nigeria has vowed to make Senator Francis Fadausi an example in its campaign against impunity and inflammatory rhetoric by politicians following remarks attributed to him in a viral video ahead of the poll. Also, former Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabo, retired, has called for decisive action, including arrest against politicians and other prominent Nigerians who make inciting statements capable of triggering violence and disrupting the peace of the country. Tinubu's assurance. Ahead of the poll, President Tinubu has assured the people of adequate security during and after the exercise. Tinubu gave the promise during the grand finale of the governorship campaign of the APC held in Osogbo, Osun State capital yesterday, to formally present its candidate Muniruddin Bola Oyebamiji for the Saturday election, represented by President of the Senate Godswill Akpabio. Tinubu said, "Let me assure all Osun indigents that adequate security has been provided all over the state to ensure people come out to cast their votes for the candidates of their choice without any fear of intimidation. Feel free to cast your vote for the candidates of your choice." Now, the candidates, their strength, their weakness, this is what I want to say. With less than 2 days to the governorship election, it's not even less than 2 days, it is barely 24 hours, less than 24 hours. Okay, so I'm updating you now. With barely less than 48 hours, 24 hours to the governorship election in Osun State, and the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC confirming that 2,333,233 residents registered to participate in the polls. Candidates and political parties are rounding up campaigns and intensifying moves to warm themselves. Okay, let me leave that on. Candidates and their parties. Candidates of the race in the race include Governor Ademola Adeleke, Accord Party; Farinloye Olarinwaju, Action Alliance; Eson Olajide, African Action Congress, AAC; Najim Salam, ADC; Adeagbo Okpawoye, African Democratic Party, ADP; Mustafa Adeniyi, Social Democratic Party; and Bola Oyebamiji of the APC. Others are additional: Ashayemi Doro, All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA; Adewale Adebayo, Allied People's Movement, APM; Clement Adeshuyi, Action People's Party, APP; Masilo Adeleke, Boots Party, and his Boots Party again, Boots Party; Taufik Adeleke, New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP; Saliu Oyelami, People's Redemption Party, PRP; Ogushakin Olalekan, Young Progressive Party, YPP; and Adefemi Adeshuyi, Zenith Labour Party, ZLP. Out of the 15 candidates, 3 have emerged as frontrunners, of which Governor Adeleke hinged his re-election campaign on his 5-point agenda, Reloaded. Okay, Mr. Bola Oyebamiji of APC tagged his manifesto as Prosperity Agenda, and Najim Salam of the ADC launched a 10-point agenda. Adeleke's prospect: apart from being the incumbent governor, he also enjoys acceptability among the majority of civil servants and the leadership of the labor unions. The NLC, TUC, and GNC are all on his side and appeared in the Accord Party campaign soliciting support for the governor. The governor is also backing on his achievements in the area of infrastructure across 3 senatorial districts. In addition, the Ede-born politician seems to be enjoying the backing of some traditional rulers in the state, led by the Ataoja of Osogbo, who on different occasions publicly declared support for the governor and Accord party despite resistance from his subjects. Also, Adeleke is said to enjoy the support of his former party, the People's Democratic Party, through which he won the governorship poll about 4 years ago, and a section of the Labour Party, LP. The PDP's failure to field a candidate of the 2026 poll in the state is more of an advantage for the governor's re-election bid, as the party structure, apart from a few strong men, still works for Accord. Omishoye's loyalist defection. Another major advantage the governor has is the defection of Senator Iyola Omishoye's loyalist to Accord party due to the fallout of APC primaries. Okay, where is that of the APC? Okay, still lent you. Okay, Oyebamiji's prospect. The APC candidate whose personality and philanthropy have endeared him to the people is believed to enjoy the support of President Tinubu and APC governors. Apart from being endorsed by the president, Oyebamiji's election bid received a major boost with the defection of all the federal lawmakers from Osun East Senatorial District, who are also major political gladiators from the towns. They include Senator Francis Fadawusi, the famous Senator Francis Fadawusi, the kill other man, Mr. Wale Oke, Ijesha North Federal Constituency, Sanya Omiri, Ijesha South Federal Constituency, and Mr. Taufik Ajile Soro, the Ife Federal Constituency. Besides, some of Omishoye's point men in Ife have also pledged loyalty to the party and its candidate. While Adeleke got massive votes from Osun West in 2022, the candidature of Oyebamiji may change the narrative, with the total registered votes from Ikire Federal Constituency amounted to 222,786 votes for Irewole, Ayadade, and Ishokan local government area, likely reducing the influence of the governor in the district. While Governor Adeleke seems to enjoy endorsement of royal fathers from Ife, Oyebamiji's major endorsement has been coming from market and traders. In most of his engagement, the APC candidate took advantage of the allegation of nepotism against the incumbent to sell himself as a man for all, and guaranteed 30 vote canvassers for each of the 3,763 polling units across the state. Okay, so let me see if I can go through what infrastructure development. All right, so yes, so the election, just like I said earlier during the first segment, when Vanguard gave some of the determinants that will occur, what will lead to the election tomorrow. INEC, not INEC, Vanguard did say that influence of critical stakeholders, leaders, popularity, performance, incumbency, federal might, and track record, among others, are expected to shape the outcome of the balloting. So these are the various determinants that will lead to the outcome or shape the outcome of tomorrow's exercise in Osun State. Yes, critical stakeholders who are in the various political parties, the stakeholders, the likes of the governorship candidate as well. The candidate are also stakeholders, in the build-up of tomorrow's election. The political parties are also stakeholders, towards the election tomorrow. So this will determine how the election will find its rhythm tomorrow. So the popularity and also the acceptability of these political actors tomorrow will be a huge factor Adeleke is somebody that cannot be hated in Osun State. You can't hate Adeleke, despite the fact that many have branded him as a dancing governor. But he knows what he's doing. Okay, Adeleke knows what he's doing. I want to believe he knows what he's doing for being able to manage to steer the affairs of Osun State for 4 years. And again, he is coming out, for a re-election. So I want to believe that all the political candidates, all the parties, the 15 political parties that will be going to the ballot tomorrow, they have one or two things as their strategy that will aid them securing the mandate tomorrow in Osun State. So my advice is for the INEC to ensure that all their officers conduct the election free and fair tomorrow, like I did warn earlier on this morning, while I was analyzing the headline. I remember that it was later that the courts directed INEC to include SDP, in the ballot paper. So I want to, again, I'm still stressing this. I want to call. I don't think there will be a mistake tomorrow. So I want to call on the Independent National Electoral Commission to please, the fresh ballot papers that have been printed that had the inclusion of SDP should be the one that will be distributed across all the polling units tomorrow, all the 3,000 polling units or so, all the 3,763 polling units, 323 wards. So the fresh ballot papers that had the inclusion of SDP should be the one to be used, because if SDP found out, that in some of the polling units, their party logo was not included in the ballot papers that will be given to voters for thumbprints, they will make it as an issue in court. So we want to urge everybody should go out en masse tomorrow. There shouldn't be, of course, despite the fact that that we don't voter apathy is not good for democracy. But despite the fact that voter apathy is not good for democracy, the people still has the decision to make, either to come out to vote tomorrow or not. Based on the antecedents in the state this past few weeks, killings, violence, and other and threats. I've seen videos on social media whereby some party leaders I don't want to call the name, I don't want to mention the name of that party, where some party leaders are threatening citizens that if they don't vote for their party, the consequences will be severe on them. You cannot be saying that in a democracy. So we need our people to be more educated. We need our people to be those in the position of leadership should be, when it comes to intellect, they should be highly intellectual. How can a political leader, be threatening resident that it is his or her party that they should vote for, and if they don't vote for that party, something will happen to them? You can't be saying that. You can't be saying that. If your party does not win tomorrow, that doesn't mean that you don't have a chance again to come out for an election. Okay, if governorship election, if the post of a governor, if you don't win, there are other political office, there are other elective offices that you can contest for: a senator, a house of reps, a local government chairman, or you can even be contest to be the national chairman of that party. All right. So if you don't win tomorrow, there's another day for you to win. If your party don't win tomorrow, there's another day for your party to win. It is turn by turn. All the 15 candidates must not win tomorrow. There is no election whereby two political parties emerge the winner. It can never happen. The only time whereby a rerun can be conducted is when the margin, if for example a political party has 1.6 million votes, which is the leading, and the second party has 1.5 million votes, or 1.5 million votes, or 1,550,000 votes, then the commission in its wisdom can now say, okay, let us do a rerun, so that because in that rerun we want to see that the margin is at least to an appreciable percentage. So all the political parties tomorrow, no matter how fantastic they are, all the candidates tomorrow, fantastic candidates, no matter how fantastic they are, all of them cannot emerge winner tomorrow. It is only one party It is only one candidate. It is only one governorship candidate that will be declared winner on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon or Monday, whichever the case may be. So campaign has ended. I believe that all the political parties have done everything that needed to be done. They don't making sure that no stone is left unturned. So let the people. Tomorrow it is going to be the people and INEC tomorrow. It is not about the political parties, because the political parties and their candidates, they've done enough. So tomorrow it will be the electorates and INEC, the electoral umpire tomorrow. It is their turn. The political parties and the candidates have been doing all the things they need to do since it has been announced that there will be an election. Now that the political parties and their candidates have done theirs, tomorrow it will be the electorates and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, tomorrow. So yes, we'll be giving you details as to how events will unfold tomorrow in INEC across our various social media platforms, on X, Overt Radio Live, on TikTok, Overt Radio, Overt.radio.lagos. We'll be giving you up-to-date developments as to the conduct of tomorrow's election. All right, Lagos, thank you very much for spending your breakfast with me here on Overt Radio, with us here on Overt Radio. Our listeners, wherever you are listening to us from, in Nigeria, in Lagos, in Ogun State, in Osun State, in Kaduna, in Kano, Delta, Edo, Yobe, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, wherever you are listening to us from in Nigeria, in Africa, Ghana, Mozambique, South Africa, Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Chad, wherever you are listening to us from in Africa, in Europe, in England, in the United Kingdom, in Norway, in Italy, in Spain, in France, in Asia, China, Japan, North Korea, South Korea, Singapore, in Australia, in North America, in South America, Brazil, in Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, in North America, United States of America, Canada, wherever you're listening to us from, we want to say a very big thank you for listening to us here on Overt Radio. 10 o'clock, Bukola Olowolafe will bring us a news update. It is 9:45 a.m. here in the studio in Nigeria. I want to thank our listeners. Our listeners, thank you very much. Our sponsors, Live Back Pharmacy and Stores Limited, for sponsoring, for making sure that we are still here, we are still in operation. A very big thank you. And also this program and also other programs here on Overt Radio, we are open for sponsorship. So if you want to sponsor this program, if you want to sponsor any of our program, just send us a mail, overtradio@gmail.com. Overt, OVERT @gmail.com, overtradio@gmail.com. Send us an email, then we'll respond. We'll be glad to have you partner with us here in the studio. All right, 10 o'clock, Bukola Olowolafe. Thank you very much. My name is Ken. It's weekend. I'm going home.